She was the most powerful woman of her time. A queen who ruled with an iron fist, unmatched wisdom, and endless grace. But behind her golden throne lay a truth so tragic, so painfully human, that history chose to hide it. This is the story of Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, who sacrificed love for power and lived her life haunted by the man she could never marry. Elizabeth Tudor was born into glory and tragedy. At just 2 years old, her father, King Henry VIII, ordered the execution of her mother, Anne Boleyn, on false charges of adultery and witchcraft. The little princess watched her world crumble. Stripped of her title, declared illegitimate, and hidden away from court, Elizabeth grew up with a truth engraved in her soul. Love brings death. Trust brings betrayal. She spent her childhood learning languages, philosophy, and statecraft, while burying her deepest scars under layers of brilliance. In these lonely years, one boy became her only light. His name was Robert Dudley. They played in palace gardens as children, raced horses together, read poetry side by side. But fate turned darker when Elizabeth's half-sister, Queen Mary, took the throne. Both Elizabeth and Dudley were imprisoned in the Tower of London, accused of treason. They heard each other's cries echo through stone walls at night. Fear bound them tighter than any love could. When Elizabeth emerged from the tower and took the throne, she never forgot the boy who shared her prison. At just 25 years old, Elizabeth became queen of a fragile, divided England. She appointed Robert Dudley as her master of horse, keeping him close at all times. He was there when she woke, there when she rode through the forest, there when she cried alone in her chambers. The court whispered, "The queen is in love." But there was a problem. Dudley was married to Amy Robsart. Even so, their closeness became so obvious that foreign ambassadors reported to their kings, "The queen is bewitched by Dudley. England's fate lies in his hands." In September 1560, a tragedy struck. Amy Robsart, Dudley's wife, was found dead at the bottom of the stairs in her home. Some claimed it was an accident. Others whispered murder. Rumors spread like wildfire. Did Dudley kill her to marry Elizabeth? The scandal threatened to destroy the young queen. If she married a man accused of murdering his wife, the people would revolt and her throne would collapse. Heartbroken, Elizabeth made the most painful choice of her life. She turned away from the only man she ever loved to save her reign. For years, advisors pressured her to marry foreign princes to strengthen alliances. But Elizabeth refused every offer. "If I marry, I will lose myself. I am married to England alone." Dudley remained by her side, always hoping she would choose love over power. But she knew. A queen has no right to her own heart. She used marriage negotiations as political games, never letting anyone rule over her. The court called her the Virgin Queen, but her heart was never pure. It was torn apart daily by the price of power. In 1588, the year England defeated the Spanish Armada, Dudley fell ill. On his deathbed, he wrote Elizabeth a final letter. When she received it, tears streamed down her aged face. She kept it hidden in a small box beside her bed, marked his last letter. For the rest of her life, she read it repeatedly, feeling his presence in her lonely golden chambers. In her final days, Queen Elizabeth refused to go to bed. She sat on the cold palace floor for hours, lost in memories of Dudley. Advisors begged her to sleep. She only whispered, "He waits for me there," in dreams. She died alone, surrounded by courtiers but accompanied only by Dudley's memory.
She ruled an empire. She defeated enemies. She created an era named after her. But deep inside, she remained the little girl who lost her mother, the young queen who lost her love, and the old woman who died haunted by regret. Was the throne worth a lifetime of loneliness? But Elizabeth wasn't the only queen who sacrificed love for power. Next, discover how Catherine de' Medici ruled with ruthless secrets.